What's going on, guys? Tony, Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always, and bringing you a special episode of Off the Rails. Going to talk about sports figures. So let's dive right into it. You ever notice how different sports professionals are treated? Yeah, they get the commercials, they get the money and the fame, but they also get the eyes on them 24/7. Their salary openly shared and discussed. No other profession has that nearly to the effect of professional sports. And they also get to encounter a special type of disrespect that most of us would not tolerate in our day-to-day lives. And it's truly a story as old as sports. That fans will yell out things that in a one-on-one setting they would never say. Most recently, Isaiah Thomas of the Washington Wizards was involved in one of these situations. So let me set the story for you. Isaiah Thomas was shooting 2 foul shots. They were in Philadelphia. Someone from the fans yelled out, "Fuck you, bitch," or something to that effect 3 times, and also made eye contact with Isaiah Thomas, sticking up his middle fingers at him. Isaiah Thomas confronted the fan during the next timeout. There's a lot of video, including the disgusting young woman who was there with him. And I say disgusting because she was laughing during the whole thing, but she taped Isaiah walking up and talking to them. And he was calm. It was a non-aggressive manner, and he simply said, "Hey, man, I'm a man. Don't do that to me." So I want to stop there, and I want to talk about a few things, because that's truly the heart and soul of the story here, right? And that's the whole thing. I have some notes here on this so that I wouldn't get distracted, because this was a good one. I mean, this was really a fun story to kind of look into. So, first, one is that, shocker, we have a meathead of a fan that yelled something inappropriate at a sports star or athlete, and there's people online defending them, saying, well, you know, you get to go to the games and people are yelling stuff all the time and yada yada. But would this guy say the same things to Isaiah Thomas if he was alone with them? Also, and I kind of alluded to this in my opening little introduction here, shame on the people around him for laughing and taping it with smiles on their faces while IT is walking up to this fan. The fact that they did not have the self-awareness to realize what was going on is beyond me. Just a bunch of low-level humans there. But yes, this meathead and his trash of a party of human beings, it's not a shock. This is something that happens at almost every sporting event. Second, yes, IT went into the stands, and he's being punished with a 2-game suspension. It's the written rules of the NBA, so it's not like this is a new situation for them. It's written in the rules. But even by his own post-game admission, he has security detail that could have removed those people from the arena, or at least addressed them. And the reason I bring that up is that even with that, I don't feel like IT was in a winning situation there. I think he was in a no-win the moment that fan started hurling insults at him, because he is human and he heard it. And it does get to people. It would get to me. Which brings me to my third point. Didn't Isaiah Thomas respond the way most of us would in that spot? Probably more professional, if you think about it. Think about it like this. You're at work and someone comes in and says, "Hey, fuck you, bitch," 3 times. Flips you the bird, makes eye contact, wants to make sure that you know it's them that's saying that to you. You expect some sort of response, correct? Whether it's your boss escorting that customer or patron out of the building, or maybe if it's a coworker, they get in some kind of trouble. I mean, I know some people, they've gotten into fistfights over drunken comments that are similar being made in a bar. And so why is it okay for this fan to do this is beyond me. It truly is. What really amuses me here is that we have these professional athletes full of adrenaline, and we are going to allow some dumbass fan to come in and yell that kind of shit. Get him out of here. That's the bottom line. Is get him out of here. You can go to a game and you can yell hundreds of things, but you do not have to cross that line. You do not have to cross that line. And I know I speak for a lot of people when I say I don't spend time or money watching sporting events to see these meatheads act this way. I really don't. So I don't care for these kinds of fans. I think that they give really bad names. And while the NBA has to follow its own rules that they have laid out, I think this one they got wrong. Because if for no other reason, guys, there's plenty of video. There's proof. Isaiah didn't curse or he didn't act in a threatening manner. They could have handled this differently. They did not have to suspend him 2 games. I think that's absurd. He literally did what we would want people to do in that spot. Think about this. He confronted the person who was insulting him calmly and just said, "Hey, that's not okay." Guys, we beg our children to do this. We talk to teens about discussing their emotions rather than acting on them. And we pray that athletes talk before acting in these types of moments. So why is it now that we forget once again that fans all over do this? And really there's fans who believe that they are paying for the right to come in and hurl those insults. Finally, and perhaps the saddest part of this story, is that the guy, the fan, the meathead that yelled these things and that initiated this whole series of events was doing it because of a promotional giveaway for a free Frosty. If an opponent misses 2 free throws within the game, they get a free Frosty. Another way to look at this is that this jackass was yelling these things and acting this way over a $1 milkshake that he would have gotten for free. But I'm sure he doesn't sit at home right now feeling bad in the least bit about what he did to IT, the spot he put him in, or the fact that IT is going to lose 2 game checks over this, which would possibly add up more than what this meathead and that ratchet lady friend of his make in a year. I truly hope that someone from this guy's work ends up hearing about this story. And if nothing else, just embarrasses him. I would love that if for once in this Me Too cancel culture that we live in, someone that I truly feel deserves it, because I don't get involved in these kinds of things where I believe people deserve that, but I believe he deserves a little bit of a lashing for this one. I really do. He was over the line. He even replied to IT, "I was just trying to get a free Frosty." Like, at that point, if he was half the man that he was trying to pretend to be behind that crowd, he would have just said, "You know what, I'm absolutely wrong," and taken his lumps. But no, that's not the way of the drunk fan. That's not the way of the ignorant fan. That's not the way. And I guess what really the last thing that annoys me about this is that he gives other fans a truly bad name. He does not give athletes the respect that they deserve, and it's a bad look for all of us. It really is. I mean, there's no disputing that. You could pull in a lot of different elements here if you want to. You could make this uncomfortable. You could make this a race thing if you wanted to, because he was willing to devalue another person's life over a free milkshake. Like, did he yell that at any other player that was on the court at the time? I mean, you can make this very uncomfortable for that guy, and I think he deserves it. I don't care if he was drunk. I don't care if he was high. I do not care. Get those fans the fuck out of the arena. Enough of this. Enough of these fans that come in and act this way. Enough of this. I'm truly just fed up with the way that people act at sporting events. It is just absurd. I think the NBA got this wrong. 2 games is an absurd amount of time to suspend somebody when you consider they get paid by the game. And you consider that Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, if you go back over the past 4 or 5 years, have each had moments where fans have interacted with them, whether it's LeBron over the past couple of finals where he had the one lady that called him a bitch, and he had the Warriors owner put his hands on him, or Russell Westbrook, who has had fans removed from the arena. Remember, there's a Utah fan that is now banned for life for yelling obscenities at him. We got to get these guys out of the fucking arena. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I hope that guy truly gets just some sort of embarrassment. And I would love if just everyone who listens to this video could share it in the hopes that a Philadelphia 76ers fan can somehow get it to him. Because honestly and truly, man, just what a low fucking move. So that's all I got. I was a little disappointed with this story. This isn't the fun, lively shit that I normally do. This one really just kind of upset me. And I don't know. I feel for Isaiah Thomas on this one. I mean, it just doesn't feel okay. So kind of a weird situation. And I mean, there's even been football players that have done this crap, where they've had to go up and try and confront a fan, and it is a crap thing that they have to do because it's putting themselves in danger. Go back and think about the Pistons and Pacers and the Malice in the Palace. I mean, like, if that fan would have been any more of a meathead and tried to confront IT and that would have escalated, Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, we're talking a real fucking issue today. Like, we're talking a real issue, not just a 2-game suspension. But I don't think Isaiah Thomas was right or wrong for going into the stands. I think he more wrong than anything, but I don't know. I have a very hard time looking at what he did and saying it was completely unacceptable. Just because how would I feel if someone did that to me at work? How would I feel if someone came into my place of business? So, all right, well, that was a lot more serious and depressing than I intended for it to be, but hey, fuck it. That's what we do here. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, if you like what you're hearing, do something to support the channel. Give me some love. Show me some support with a share. Tell your friends about us. Definitely trying to expand here into the new year with some new ideas. So looking forward to all that. Thank you guys so much for listening.